Case intake note, recovered from the first archive pass. The first frame catches a witness backing away from the Firewatch tower log as the floor seems to answer for it. A light flickers once, then holds steady as if someone has warned it. Someone laughs once, too quietly, then asks to leave without looking away. The first question is not what happened. It is why the Firewatch tower log evidence already knows the witness. The safe explanation is radio bleed from another room. For almost 1 minute, that explanation works. Then the corrected copy changes first, and the room stops feeling like a place people can leave. Someone has to choose whether to trust their memory or the object in front of them. A staffer pockets the key, then cannot remember which door it opens. The archive can keep its labels. The story belongs to the person who realizes the Firewatch tower log evidence has started answering them personally. The timestamp clicks forward in a room where every clock has been unplugged. The next contradiction is not bigger, it is closer. The clean recording keeps the damage and loses the voice. Now the witness has to decide whether the evidence is a warning, a lure, or a rehearsal. The log is not receiving a signal. It is given the room a way to speak through the next witness. The opening no longer looks like the first scene. It looks like the moment the room chose who would remember it. The first witness does not scream. They step away from the evidence and refuse to say whose voice came through it. The final tag is signed in handwriting the witness has not learned yet. The file ends because the archive runs out of procedure, not because the witness runs out of fear. The air has the flat, wet smell of a room after power has been off too long. The archive wants a label, but the nearest person steps back like the evidence has recognized them. A small detail turns personal when the log answers back. A private memory becomes physical evidence in front of strangers. The last sound is a voice practicing the witness's answer. The room pressures the witness before anyone understands what noticed them first. The choice lands before the mechanism becomes clear. The evidence returns only after it has changed a person, a memory, or a private lie. Each added detail makes the witness less certain they arrived after the event began. A witness looks for permission to laugh, then realizes nobody else heard the same thing. Someone keeps one hand in their pocket because touching the evidence now feels like answering it. The final ordinary sound is not a scream. It is the log repeated once, after everyone agrees the room is empty. The evidence waits in plain view, while the witness invents reasons not to look at it. The cost is small enough to deny and personal enough to ruin them. The room narrows around the witness. The first person in the room forgets a name they had just written down. The danger is not death. It is being edited out of your own account. The log stops being information and starts sounding like a demand. The recording ends with the table waiting for another hand. A small object from the opening returns with a changed consequence. The second playback removes the safest explanation. The witness understands why the room noticed them first. The lights stay ordinary, which makes the contradiction worse. The witness transcript quotes a sentence nobody has spoken yet. Nobody can blame spectacle for what changed. The witness changes their story after touching nothing. Dust shifts across the table before the door opens. That is the moment the evidence becomes intimate. The consequence arrives through one clear detail. The recording catches a breath that does not belong to anyone on the log. Ordinary procedure fails because a person changes before the evidence does. A procedure note can explain equipment, not the moment a person reacts before the room gives them a reason. The witness repeats the wrong date and starts crying before they understand why. The room goes quiet only after someone says the wrong name. The room gives the witness one more chance to deny it. Then the log answers with the detail they were hiding. What hurts is how ordinary the evidence remains. The witness understands that touching it would feel like agreement. The file can call it a discrepancy, but the witness has already changed. The evidence is sealed, but the seal is warm. By the final pass, the evidence is not louder, it is closer. The witness lowers their hand before anyone tells them what the evidence is. Stay with the witness after the obvious explanation fails. Every explanation asks one person to give up a piece of what they remember. The room does not become louder, it becomes more personal. A mislabeled intake file fails because the witness transcript quotes a sentence nobody has spoken yet. One more practical detail changes what the witness can trust. The object stays ordinary enough to touch, and that is why touching it feels like answering. The next proof belongs to a person, not a file. The witness realizes the room knows which lie they were about to tell. The horror keeps shrinking until it fits inside one remembered detail. The evidence stops matching itself and starts matching the witness. A second silence arrives after the room should be safe. A corrupted export from an older case almost explains it. Then the second witness is listed as present tomorrow. Keep the camera on the person who tries not to react. The log makes the room feel chosen instead of observed. The archive can seal evidence, but it cannot seal what the witness remembers next. The safest explanation breaks in a human place. A hand stops, a name disappears, and the log waits in plain view. No one in the locked evidence room where the first witness sees the thing on the table says the fear out loud. A camera clock drifting under load still sounds useful until the room remembers the witness before the witness enters. The room gives the witness one more chance to deny it. The nearest person steps back like the evidence has recognized them. The witness transcript quotes a sentence nobody has spoken yet. Stay with the witness after the obvious explanation fails. A reflection arrives half a second before the person casting it. A camera clock drifting under load fails because the room remembers the witness before the witness enters. The room goes quiet only after someone says the wrong name. The second witness is listed as present tomorrow. The corrected copy changes first. A second silence arrives after the room should be safe. A mislabeled intake file almost explains it. Then the last sound is a voice practicing the witness's answer. The second playback removes the safest explanation. Stay with the witness after the obvious explanation fails. The log stays ordinary enough to touch, and that is why touching it feels like answering. No one in the locked evidence room where the first witness sees the evidence says the fear out loud. The corrected copy changes first.